Hello, everybody. Do not adjust your dials. Yes, I'm wearing the same sweatshirt I wore 2 days ago.
I am too.
I know.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's going to look like a duplicate episode. It's not. We're just lazy.
Yeah. Well, it's just a hoodie. Goes
Yeah,
on.
exactly. You can rewear them.
And it's about 50 degrees down here, so.
It is so cold. My nose is frozen. I'm doing that whole, like, breathing into my sweatshirt thing because my nose is froze to the bone.
Okay.
Yeah. It is fucking cold down here, and it's only going to get worse, team. We got to fix this.
Yeah.
We got to either fix these baseboards or bring your little tiny heater out here again.
Okay.
Which I think worked better than nothing.
It is better than nothing.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Oh, God.
It's a lot nicer than it was outdoors all day, so.
Yeah,
there's that.
I know. You know what? Would you stop coming home? Because I hate not being able to whine about anything because you've always had it worse.
I just said it was colder outside than it is in your
I got it.
house.
You spent 9 hours outside. Yeah, I know. I'm in the house and I'm freezing.
Poor me.
Yeah, my back sucks. I know yours sucks worse, but mine sucks too.
Poor me.
Yeah, I didn't pour me. I'm just.
No, I'm saying
didn't,
pour me.
Yeah, pour you is right. The music we were just playing,
Yeah.
Blackwater Station,
Oh, yeah. Heavy skeleton.
Heavy Skeleton. Yep.
Oh, man. I mean, that speaks to my soul.
I know. And today is a rough day for me. Today is and for you. Today is the 10-year anniversary of Zach Plasto's passing. We lost a good one there, man.
Indeed.
You know,
Indeed. Yeah. You were a lot closer to Zach than I was, but was always a good friend, always a good dude.
Yeah, Zach and I had a special relationship, man. We were not only in a band together, but we had a love of music together. I've talked about it before on here, but Zach was the one that encouraged me to do this.
Right on.
You know,
Yeah.
and build. You know, I had some equipment in my house. You know, and I've talked about it before. The plan was to do a show here, like on the weekends. This is before the Drew and Mike show was ending, and so I figured, it'd be good to get some practice on a microphone without Drew and Mike there. So maybe Fellhammer and I could do something on the weekend. And then it just so happens that the show was shit canned for that awesome show that's in there now.
So good.
Just so good. Arguably the worst show in America, in my humble opinion. What do I know?
I don't know. I've never listened.
Yeah, right. I've forced myself to listen probably 3 times, and all 3 times I went, this is the worst show I've ever heard. It's that fucking bad. Of course, we're talking about Dave and Chuck the Freak. But radio's dead anyway, so who cares? But anyways, at the time, I was torn whether or not I was going to go to Magic or, 105, whatever, the sports thing with Drew and Mark. And Zach was like, dude, you know what? Fuck that. Just do your own thing, man. You've got this equipment, build a studio and blah, 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 and kind of talked me into it. And, he never got to see it up and running and all that. He died shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Just had a heart attack out of the fucking blue. Healthy guy,
Right.
Skinny, voice of an angel,
Man,
going
ain't that the truth.
to those shows when we were younger.
Yep.
Oh, just an absolute rock star, man.
Yeah.
Just a rock star. And, I'll never forget that day. Again, something I've talked about, but, it's my boy. So
Big anniversary.
it is. And it was a Saturday, and I was on my way to Ann Arbor to meet Fellhauer because we were doing the pregame for the Wolverines, and I got a call from Beth, of all people. And she was like, fucking Zach died. And I was just like, excuse me? I mean, I was, I might have been the last person to text with him.
Yeah.
And it was just awful. And I remember getting to the remote and talking to Fellhauer. And I was just like, fucking, it hadn't even hit me. I mean, it was just
there's that shock value of that. It just, you haven't processed it.
Yeah.
Your brain can't even wrap itself around it.
And when someone's really close to you, whether it's a family member or, a dear, dear friend, it just hits different. Obviously everybody our age can relate on some level. And I ended up doing the first break with Mark that day. And I don't think I said a word. Just standing there with a microphone, just like
in his days.
And we wrapped that break up, and he goes, "Dude, just get the fuck out of here. What are you even doing here?"
Yeah.
And I just booked, and so yeah, it's always a tough anniversary. I have great memories, but I haven't really jammed with anybody since then. outside of like you with a guitar and
Yeah.
stuff. But as far as, you know, Zach would be here almost every weekend till about 3 a.m, you know, and we'd just be fucking
rocking out.
Yeah. And we, you know, this house has just enough separation between the neighbors that you could still do that.
Oh, yeah.
No one bitched ever.
Yeah.
No one said anything. You couldn't hear
Pretty
the
well
drums.
soundproof. It is.
Yeah,
When
it's
we
not
had
bad.
Project Sky and we moved everything inside, I was amazed.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't hear anything. And
Yeah.
we had some shit going on.
Oh,
Full
yeah.
PAs.
Well, the cops showed up eventually.
Well, I mean, when we were outside. I mean,
Yeah.
once we moved it inside. Like,
Yeah.
Going out front, like, to see how we stood and was like, damn.
Yeah, not bad. We had a DJ in here and shit.
Yeah, like, I can't hear shit.
Yeah. So anyway, rest in peace, my friend.
Amen.
We miss you, Zach, and we'll never forget you. I still stumble upon the videos of us playing and stuff, and you know, if I'm in a video, I'm going to pay attention to myself. I never pay attention to myself in those videos.
Yeah, right.
I can't keep my eyes off Zach singing and playing, and you know, just
Yeah.
a special dude, and an even better person beyond the music and all that. Just a great, kind soul, and you know,
So get lost on a lot of
Miss
people
him.
and a lot of, you know, artists and celebrities and things that, you know, people think they know them, but they really don't. And
Yeah.
a lot of those people are just, you know, a much better person than they are an artist.
yeah.
You know, they're creative. They give their gifts, but
Yeah.
deep down they're just good people.
Yeah. And it's you know, it'd be interesting to know, you know, I know where a lot of Zach's friends land or his family lands on the whole, you know, right wing, left wing stuff. And, you know, Zach wasn't here for any of that shit. So
Yeah.
God knows, you know, artists tend to be liberal. And I don't know where Zach would have landed on a lot of that stuff. And who knows? He and I might have had a lot of
like
fucking
10 years ago, it
arguments.
didn't matter.
10 years ago, you could just be you and hang out with your buddies, and
Oh, the good old days.
none of that shit mattered.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Shows how far we've fallen.
yeah, where we can't agree on anything anymore.
I know.
You know, and you could take lifelong friends and just go to war with them for whatever reason.
For what?
For nothing.
Exactly.
For nothing.
Yeah.
Dude, I was watching might have been Libs at TikTok posted it, but there was a girl, black girl, well, half black.
Which half? Top or bottom?
I don't know. She's cute.
Okay.
You know, not that makes her white and or
I was
black.
going to say, so bottom?
Yeah. She's cute. She's young, obviously. And she's giving a speech at her father's funeral. Her father is white. And she's like, she gives this lengthy ass speech about what a piece
I think that's
of
called a eulogy.
Yeah, speech, same thing. Well, no, she didn't give a eulogy.
No.
She talked about what a piece of shit he is, xenophobic, racist, Trump-loving,
Okay.
basically glad you're dead, fuck off.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like, and then
Clearly
just
he's
kind of
racist. He banged your mom.
right.
Deep,
You know,
deep hatred
and
there.
and you don't know, is it like, oh, when you got to the final thing, because you rattled off all the, you know, homophobic, xenophobic, superphobic, transphobic, whatever bullshit, phobic, and then you got down to Trump supporting. It was like, oh. So the fact that he was a Trump fan, did that automatically make him all those other things that you said,
Pretty
or did
much.
you just besmirch his good name in front of at his fucking funeral?
Yeah.
You sick. It's
Possible.
like, wow.
That is, yeah, basically, that's all it takes.
You know, I learned all the lessons I could learn from you, and I'll cherish those. You told me to stand up for myself, which is what I'm doing now. You xenophobic, racist. You're just like, really? You can't take 5 minutes off from your Trump hate to fucking, you know,
Yeah.
just be cordial to your own father? Holy fuck. Where are we? What days are we living in?
This is where
man?
we are.
It's-
The end of days.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just how sad. You wonder if someone like that's going to regret that 20 years down the road when they're
Maybe.
not 20 years old anymore.
Maybe. Possibly.
That, you know, you go, you know.
Boy, he didn't deserve that. When you actually realize what life and death entails, and you're
Yeah.
not a know-it-all shitbag kid.
Yeah,
And,
right.
you start to get some appreciation for life and for family and
And difficult decisions.
sacrifices and things like that.
And things that, you know, you may have believed in that you had to alter your thoughts on as you get older, and you see more of the world and you see more of politics, and you kind of understand that game and how much you've been used,
Yep.
how much you've been lied to, how much you've been a fucking pawn, how much you've been a useful idiot by both sides. And when you grow up a little bit and you realize that, I imagine someone like her is going to look back and go, you know, there was probably a time and a place, you know, maybe better suited for a conversation with my therapist instead of his friends and family at a funeral.
At his funeral, at the last things ever said about somebody.
Right. Where he's not here to defend himself at all.
Yeah.
You know, it just seems like a...
It's all we can hope is that someone like that comes to that realization. And maybe he was a total piece of shit. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe he just voted for Trump.
Yeah.
You know, the way that you said Trump supporter at the end, that could just mean, look, man, I don't want fucking wide open borders in this country, like anywhere else in the world.
Ooh, I like small government.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Fiscal responsibility.
Ooh,
things like that.
You fucking racist.
See? Clearly.
God, anti-Semitic, homophobic, xenophobic, whatever.
Guilty.
Speaking of immigration, the border issue, that's been a top topic this year. I think nearly 6 million people illegally have come into the country.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know why we would just put a turnstile in there.
Yeah. But
little
it's
counters.
Keep in mind, though, you got to remember and put that in context. To be fair, Mayorkas, the czar for immigration, has told us that it's not open.
No, I know clearly
So,
not.
you know, 6 million people have crashed in and come in, welcomed in, but you know, it is.
Well, they made that
closed
bet.
and
I mean,
safe.
when they rallied against Trump's wall and all that, they sent the message that it was open.
Yeah,
Come on in, and then be careful what you wish for, because now all of a
did.
sudden it's your border. And
They
now
listened.
You have to try and control it. You know.
Yeah.
The videos of especially like Kamala, the garbage she went through with that, just on her high horse.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
no one's illegal, and this and the treatment and all this, and then don't come. Do not come.
Yeah.
You don't come here. These caravans that are coming, you're gonna make us look like shit.
not to do a whole
No.
political thing, but
No, it's just
one thing I found hilarious. I don't know if you noticed this the other day when they were talking when these people were leading up to the midterms. I started to see some commercials with people talking about promises kept, promises made, promises kept, promises, unfulfilled. Mm-hmm. And one of the attacks that these people were making on Trump and people he supported was he promised a wall and he never delivered. I was like,
just words, man.
why would that be
Yeah,
exactly?
crazy.
You mean the $5 billion worth of materials that's still sitting there that you had federally stopped permanently the day you took office? You mean that wall that was almost done? You mean the wall that the government of Texas has wanted to get themselves, it's already paid for. The work's already been paid for. Millions and millions of dollars already paid in full. They just stopped it. And then you're going to fucking shit on Trump because he didn't fulfill the border wall? Like, for real? Like, okay, there's plenty of shit you can attack Trump on. Plenty.
Yeah.
That one seems a bit much.
Yeah,
And
as
then
far as
you won't let the
campaign promises fulfilled, I'd probably put his record up against just about everybody else's.
Yeah.
In the history of
100%.
campaign promises,
100%.
right or wrong,
You fucking racist.
He followed
xenophobic.
through with we did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Which is what got him elected in the first place.
Yeah. It's crazy. Well, a federal judge blocked the use of Title 42. I think that's the Remain in Mexico one, right?
It is,
Isn't
yeah.
that the where it's like you can't pass through multiple countries to get to Mexico to then crash the U.S. Where if you're seeking asylum and you've got other safe countries along the way,
Yeah.
you have to remain in Mexico. You have to stay there while your asylum claim is heard. And that came in especially handy during COVID when, lots of people were just crashing the border. It was like, hey, man, we can't fucking test all these people. We have no idea what COVID they have, blah, blah, blah. So Rule 42, a rule mainly used to expel migrants at the southern border in the interest of public health. Judge Emmett Sullivan of the U.S. District Court in D.C. said that the use of the Trump-era policy to turn away migrants under the Administrative Procedures Act was arbitrary. It is unreasonable for the CDC to assume that it can ignore the consequences of any actions it chooses to take in the pursuit of fulfilling its goals, particularly when those actions included the extraordinary decision to suspend the codified, procedural, and substantive rights of non-citizens seeking safe harbor. Title 42 was put into place in 2020 to prevent migrants from entering during COVID. The policy has since received strong attacks from a variety of organizers. Of course, the ACLU sued to end the policy in July of 21, arguing Title 42 was an unlawful interpretation of the act. The Soup administration also sought to end the policy earlier this year, but a response by GOP-led states sued to keep Title 42 in place. The ruling comes after Customs data recorded on Monday 230,000 migrant encounters at the southern border in October.
Jeez.
Many are concerned the end of Title 42 would worsen President Dementia's border crisis, as more than 1 million have been expelled since 2020 under the policy. Governor Greg Abbott in Texas said a federal judge blocks authorities from using Title 42. This will further signal the cartels, human smugglers, and illegal immigrants that the border is wide open, inciting more violence and lawlessness. Disastrous. While President Soup refuses to do his job and enforce the laws enacted by Congress, the state of Texas is once again stepping up and taking action to protect Americans and secure our southern border. Cartels have become emboldened and enriched by President Dementia's open border policies, smuggling in record numbers of people, weapons, and drugs like fentanyl. I thought this was interesting, too. I was looking up, like, how many people qualify for amnesty?
Yeah.
You know, like, what is
What's
that?
the criteria to be able to seek asylum?
Because it's not easy. If you're seeking asylum to come into this country, it doesn't just mean like, oh, I grew up in a shitty neighborhood and I want more opportunity in America. Mm-hmm. Like, I think a lot of people think that. No, it's way more than that. There's way more criteria involved. If you're just going to declare yourself as it's an emergency and I need to, for safe harbor for me and my family, I need to get the fuck out of where I am.
Yeah.
It can't just be that you're from a shithole country.
Yeah.
That doesn't qualify.
Be it like in danger or things
Right.
like that. Your country is at war, things like
you ratted out a cartel member and now they're after you and your
But
family.
even those, how do you prove of that? I mean, I can't everybody
you
just
put
say
the cartel
that.
on the stand is what you do.
Yeah, clearly.
You ask them.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they're on the payroll anyway, so why not?
Sonny Hostin said, many of these people are seeking asylum. What happened to our country's promise of give me you're tired, you're weak, and you're poor? People are truly coming here to seek a better life. Well, that's not what it says, by the way. Give me you're tired, you're weak, you're poor, you're huddled masses yearning to breathe free. By the way, that is not a promise of America, okay? Not at all. That is a fucking poem that was by a French woman when they gave us the Statue of Liberty, and that poem, by the way, good luck finding it if you go to the Statue of Liberty. Good luck finding that poem. It's not even on the outside of the Statue of Liberty. It's inside, and I asked them where it was, and those people that were working there were like,
Oh boy.
right. I found one employee who was like, yeah, it's inside like her fucking skirt or something over there. I was able to find it. It's a small little thing.
Yeah.
It's nothing. But this idea of America's promise, people use that all the time. And it's like, just because some cunt in France wrote a poem and stuck it on the fucking Statue of Liberty does not mean it's policy.
Not our creed.
It's not our creed. It's not a policy. It's not our promise.
Yeah.
It's a nice statement. And it means well when people are doing it legally. Bring us your poor, your tired, huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Yes. When they're coming to Ellis Island and they're going through the system and then getting,
the right way, yeah.
And you're talking about a country that had 10 million people in it, 100 million people in it, not 350.
It's like equated to a concert. Time. It's like people that bought tickets and came and get to go in through the fucking the gates.
There you go.
Or you can just hop the fence.
Yes.
Right? That's not fair to the people that bought tickets.
No.
Right.
It's not.
Or the people hosting the show.
But by equity standards.
Oh, of course, everybody. Then there shouldn't even be a gate.
No, there shouldn't be a cost for tickets.
Right.
We should just all get to go for free.
Anybody that wants to do it.
Well, not white people. Obviously, white people would have to pay, but everybody else should just go for free.
Yeah. So the technical definition of asylum is the protection granted by a nation to someone who has left their native country as a political refugee.
Yeah.
But then an interpretation of that is asylum is a form of protection which allows an individual to remain in the United States instead of being removed, deported, to a country where he or she fears persecution or harm.
Yeah.
Fears persecution or harm.
Right.
How do you quantify that?
Yeah. Well, the other thing was they wanted to get to America. They didn't just want safe harbor. they wanted to get to America, which is
Yes.
why you come from South America
Right.
and you come through 3 other countries before you get to America's
Yeah, where you could have
borders.
set up camp.
You could have set up camp in
Sure.
Mexico. They wouldn't let you do that, but neither should America.
No, of
right?
course not.
Like, that's just not the way. You don't just get to make shit up and then come in and start demanding stuff. And, so for a judge to overturn that, and what those numbers look like are about 20%, and there's shit tons of them that never show up for court. Of the ones that do, about 18 to 25% end up meeting that qualification, which when you're talking about 60,000 people, okay, you've got a couple thousand or something, whatever it might be, 10 grand that qualify. When you're talking about 6 million,
Yeah.
wholly different number.
I mean, just can't
wholly
even-
different strain on the system,
And there's
on the
no-
education system, the health system.
But there's no
border
way that
system.
many people would technically qualify.
No, they wouldn't.
Not at all.
No.
So
No.
that's I don't know how you prove it, how you justify it, how you.
Yeah.
There's a right and a wrong way to do things, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're letting
Well-
it slip out of our hands.
For those that think, oh man, these governors are playing politics by busing these people to Martha's Vineyard or New York City or Chicago or D.C. Ask yourself, what options have they left themselves?
Well,
when you're talking
first
about
of all,
these,
they are
these
playing
kinds of numbers.
politics, but they're just continuing the game.
Yeah.
Letting the borders be open is playing politics.
Right. That's why they're open.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing. God, no, we're in uncharted territory. That's what's scary about a lot of this stuff.
It is.
We don't know where this goes. We don't know what the end game is. I think if this is really about trying to get these people legally able to vote, and then they're all going to vote Democrat, I don't know anyone else who has said this, but personally, I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think these people are much more religiously grounded than anyone on the left. No offense. I know there's some religious people on the left, but those hardcore lefties who, don't seem terribly religious these days, not that I am or you are, but if you're thinking that these people are coming across and they're just going to jump into bed with you,
Yeah. Just
I
show
think
their
they're-
eternal gratitude in the booth.
yeah, I don't think that's going to work like you think. And we've got a story coming up in a little while about, communities getting together in Dearborn. And the Muslim parents there went, fuck no, as far as what books you're putting in my
that was
high school.
That was a big deal, yeah.
It's a big deal. We haven't talked much about it. There's another story on that today, an update. But I think that's what you're going to run into is you're going to find out that a lot of Muslim people, a lot of people from South America, Venezuela, Cuba,
Yeah.
they're not up for socialism and free handouts coming from where they come from. And number two, they're not dying to have their fucking sons become their daughters
Right.
and making that decision in 5th grade.
Yeah,
You know
the
what I mean?
conversation we had with Shane Hernandez,
Yeah.
Tutor's running mate there. He was talking about that because he was first generation, I think. I think his dad was. They
Were both his
worked on-
parents?
Maybe I don't know. We talked about too much about his mom, but his dad, he was talking about. Worked on the farms up like Bay City, like that's basically an immigrant.
Yeah.
But was just basically told that you're a Democrat. Poor people were Democrats, rich people were Republicans.
Right.
So they just was instilled in him that he was a Democrat and just lived his life that way. That's just what it was because they were poor.
Yeah.
And then as his
And he just went along with that.
and exactly because
Like,
he didn't know any
he's a
different.
kid. What does he know?
And then once he became educated and was like, wait a minute, hold on, that's not exactly right. And
Yeah.
it just goes to show that you just have to be told something to believe it. You
Yeah.
don't have to be shown it or proven it or experience it. Somebody just has to tell you it one time enough for you to believe it.
Yeah.
And that's a fact in your brain. That's all it takes.
I remember long before ever having critical thinking skills. Not that I have dynamite ones now, but I'm certainly better than I was when I was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
And I remember frequently going to bed at night and praying to God for all, just guilt, all guilt ridden. I said, damn, or I said, hell, am I going to burn in hell now? Do I burn in hell now?
Just waiting for it to just burst into
Burst
flames.
into flames, just child shit. but believed wholeheartedly, full throat, like full. Why would my parents lie to me about that? Why would they take me somewhere? They've never not earned my trust. They've never done anything to hurt that.
Right.
And so, it took years and years and years. It's very hard when you get in that. And not to knock religion. I'm still on the fence on some things. I've definitely warmed a little bit to some things that I haven't. I don't feel comfortable talking about it. I'm not running off to church any weekend soon.
Sure.
But there was a definite. It took years of almost like, this just doesn't feel right. Well, this just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Before I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm buying this stuff. But, so yeah, to your point, that kind of not that it's all indoctrination, but it was for me. It was like I'm being forced at a very early age to go to this thing and be told how to behave and what to do. And
you just don't have any reference to question it. It's just what you're told. You take it at face value, and you believe that until you're proven differently. And that can take never. It can take forever. It can take a very short amount of time. My Facebook memories pop up, and it was right in this timeline about 12 years ago where I was finding God.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You were?
Well, the marriage, the ex, the whole churchy thing, and all that stuff. I was.
She roped. I didn't know she roped you, and I knew you had to go.
Yeah. Well, this is when I was
good husband.
This was when I was overseas, for one, and I was trying to figure out life.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, maybe I've been doing this all wrong, and maybe that is the answer. Maybe that's the path. Maybe that's what I've been missing all along.
Yeah.
So I tried.
How'd that go?
Here I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they come up in my memories, and I'm like, you moron.
What? Why? What did you post?
I mean, whatever. It's all
stuff like Bible verses.
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, dude.
Let's see.
I didn't know that about
you. I'll see if one's on there for today or not.
Oh, I love the fact that you're willing to talk about this.
Why not? I mean, hey, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's part of everybody's journey. It's not. It's not like I just dismiss it completely on its face. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. I've lived it. I grew up going to church.
Yeah. Did you though?
Yeah. Well, a little bit. Yeah.
With your mom or your dad? I can't imagine.
Well,
Don was
no. When I was young, we went to because my mom was British, so we did Episcopalian church.
Okay.
Actually, the little church in the end of Melnick Street, all the way at the end back there. I used to go bang chicks and smoke weed. Yeah, back there.
Okay.
We went there for a while, and then after the divorce, I went to a Methodist church for a while. I was even in the church choir for a bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that was just. My cousins went. It was just what we did, and it was never like super into it. And that was never like. Methodist
what was the first one you said you went to?
Episcopalian.
Yeah,
it's the Church of England.
That one's got piss in the name, and the other one's got meth in the name. Does seem kind of fitting of all churches for you to be
exactly
involved
right. So anyway, yeah. So 12 years ago today, I posted 1 Peter 4:8, whatever the hell that means.
Hold on.
That's my actual post.
Do you have?
I could probably look it up to see what that means.
I'm going to.
Yeah. 1 Peter.
Let's see what was so important to T.
Yeah, I have no idea. 4:8. Let's see. And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. I guess that's the translation.
Well, that's kind of
above all, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sins. That was what I posted.
That's kind of fitting for you, knowing your nudist-ish background, your hippie background, your deadhead background. Mm-hmm. More about peace and love is legit with you.
Yeah.
So you've had that belief for a long, long time.
Yeah. And it's not.
And you made people do a little homework. Yeah, anybody that got fucking just like, what the hell does
that mean?
One P? What?
Right? Was that a code? What is he talking about? Yeah. And for the record, it's not faith that I have an issue with. It's organized religion. That I am a bit sketch on.
Yeah. I'm right there with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that it's founded in a very good place and has been
bastardized,
absolutely,
and used.
Yes.
Yeah. So much of it appears to be that way.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's my personal opinion and my experience.
Mine too, and we don't know shit. We admit we're two dummies down here. Yeah. doing whatever, and who knows what the future holds.
Yeah.
Who knows what life-changing event may or may not happen that you go, oh, man, that was a miracle in my world, and change your whole outlook.
You never know.
You never know.
If there's a hell, I'm definitely going to it.
Yeah, but, this idea that something is just you're burning in a hellfire for eternity, I would think like anything, like once you've been in the water long enough, you adjust. I don't care how freezing it is or how hot it is. I would think, if my soul doesn't melt away and I don't have nerves and physical skin.
Yeah.
And it seems like the coolest people are going to be down there. I was
going to say, there's going to be way better company down there for sure.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, everybody's idea of what their heaven would involve is like, in my heaven, I want to do all the drugs.
Right.
All the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that would be the irony. Like, when you go to heaven, you can just bang everybody and do whatever you want. It's crazy. Like, all right, you pass the test, now you get to come into heaven.
Yeah.
No, you fucked up in the test, so you fail and you go to hell.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to sit and twiddle your thumbs all day for eternity.
Like, that would be the worst if I got sent to hell and I was just like in a cage or a cell and I could just read a book.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh. But, my idea of heaven, like doing all the drugs and never getting addicted would be awesome.
Sure.
Be fucking great. Bang all the hot chicks. And what's the definition of a hot chick? Well, that depends.
Exactly.
My definition and your definition, for the most part, about the same. Not the same as everybody's.
That's correct.
And so I don't know how God parses that out. And he goes, oh, shit. These two clowns again. I never know what I'm going to do with Mike and Troy. Fuck. Well, put them on the east side of heaven, and, they can do drugs over there.
Double wide on the outskirts?
Yeah, double wide on the outskirts.
Rooming up with E?
Just give them a garden full of drugs, have a delivery guy show up and drop off, a briefcase worth of shit every day.
Yeah.
And just send 10 to 20 of whatever the hottest chicks are in heaven. And just send them over there every week, and be like, all right, you did me a solid, God. I appreciate it.
If that's the deal, I might have to change my ways.
Yeah.
All I got to do is I got on my deathbed, I got to repent my sins, right?
Mm-hmm. Unless you just fucking go down.
We'll see.
That's the chance you're taking. Anyway, going back to, I mentioned the Dearborn Public Schools.
Yeah.
And the fight, it was announced on Monday that they will remove a few books.
Okay.
So the Arabs got involved with the rest of the local community.
Yep.
Whatever they're considered in Dearborn. Or is it all Muslim?
I mean, it's a pretty huge majority, but not all.
Yeah, but majority. Anyway, they were they're going to keep one book, remove a couple books, and restrict another book to high school students only. The two pulled books are Push.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah.
Like an instruction manual?
Like pushing in a stool.
I guess, right?
Yeah.
You have your shit pushed in, man.
Your shit pushed in.
Is that Trading Day? What's that from?
Yeah, something like that. Push by Sapphire, which is about a girl who was sexually abused by her father.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Okay, so her dad's banging her.
Yeah.
Need to get that into a book, and we need to get that in the library for middle schoolers. So they've said, no, okay, having dad fuck his daughter, not cool. And the Arabs are going ape shit. Let's just pull it. Let's see, Red, White, and Royal Blue, an LGBT romance with several sexually explicit passages. The books were ruled inappropriate for even high schoolers.
Wow.
And will be removed from the libraries. The Lovely Bones. See, I keep hearing of Lawn Boy. Isn't that the one we keep hearing of?
And there's another one too. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah.
Which is the one where the kids are like, "You mean the local realtor?"
I think that one's Lawn Boy.
Is it where the kid's getting blown by his local realtor? And of course, the other 12-year-old in the neighborhood would know that Ed down the street is a realtor.
Yeah,
of course. Let's see, The Lovely Bones, which is about the rape and murder of a young girl, will remain in the libraries for high school students only. Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, which is about a teenage romance, includes profanity and domestic abuse, was ruled inappropriate for middle school, but appropriate for high school. I don't have a problem with that. Copies of the book will be pulled from middle schools, but remain on the high school shelves. Two books still under review. All Boys Aren't Blue.
Okay.
Is that like a blue versus pink thing?
Probably. That would be my guess.
Okay. And This Book is Gay.
Wonder what that's about.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really give me a lot there. Oh, the district also reviewed the
They say don't judge a book by its cover.
yeah.
So
Can you judge this book by its cover? It's called Flamer.
it's about a firefighter, I assume. Or an arsonist, perhaps.
Arsonist, yeah.
Yeah.
Flamer is a graphic novel about a gay boy that includes several sexually explicit scenes. Flamer was not part of the initial books challenge from a parent.
It slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, the butt cracks.
See what you did there.
But has been deemed appropriate for high school students. All right, way to go, high schoolers. You can read Flamer, no problem.
All right.
On Monday, a mother read an extremely sexually explicit passage from Flamer.
Oh boy,
at a
they don't
school
like
board
that
meeting.
when you do that.
No.
They really don't like
They
when
say-
you read it.
They
That's
got the
enough.
gavel.
There's children here. Like,
chi-
I know, asshole.
the whole
That's my
point.
point. So funny.
Yeah, it's
Watching them eat
hilarious.
shit like that.
Sir, there's kids in
I'll
here.
have you removed for reading that.
Yeah. Last month, parents in the Muslim community showed up to a school board meeting to protest the books. Keep your dirty books in the closet, read one sign. I like that. Quit grooming students, read
Yes.
another. And then quit grooming students, you sexually perverted animals. All right, they're not fucking around, man.
No, they are not. I've said all along, don't fuck with parents.
No.
That's when you cross a line.
Yeah. The other thing that I like about this is waking up other communities. It doesn't mean shit coming from white people. White parents don't matter. If you think as a white parent you matter in your school district, you're fucking mental. You don't. They don't give a shit what you think. They barely even give a shit about your stupid white kids. But Muslims, you can't just cross them off as racists.
Yep.
You can't cross them off as xenophobic and
Need
blah,
some
blah, blah.
allies.
Yeah. So Asians, when they started fucking with Asians, grades to get into Harvard and Yale and all that, those fucking Asian parents were not, they were like, fuck you, students work ass off. He gets into school.
Yep.
Like, they're not putting up with it. And we had to just sit there and fold our arms going, yeah, I know. We've been talking about what bullshit this is. Of course you deserve to be in Harvard. You've been working your dick off since kindergarten. Yes. It was a priority in your family. It's a priority custom-wise in where you're from geographically, and it shows. Your scores are way better. You shouldn't be discriminated based on that. So it was like, for me, I'm like, well, we need to sit back for a while and let the Muslims and the
Take the reins for a bit.
take the reins
give them
because
the
they don't
wheel.
want to hear from us.
I was
They
going to
don't
say
give a fuck.
let them take the wheel, but
Yeah.
not the Asians. Not going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anyway.
as far as equity goes, I mean, there are these kids that have these 4.2, 4.3, 4.4 GPAs,
Yeah.
Nobody needs that much. Take some of those points and give them to the kids that have lower GPAs.
Yeah.
That seems fair, right? That seems equitable. Isn't that what we're trying to do
That
these
would
days?
be equity.
Yeah. isn't
Definitely
it?
would be
right. You don't need all those extra points, especially.
Unless you're Asian, then you need every bit of those points because they're letting 2.5 fucking grade point average kids in above you. Many Muslim parents showed up for the school board meeting. We're going to be at every single meeting for the next 20 years if that's needed. I'm not going to allow these books to be read to our kids, one Islamic man said.
Sure. Yeah. Don't mess with parents.
Don't do it.
Hey, it's that time of year. Amazing Black Friday deals are finally here, and our friends and OG sponsor at Zott Ford have bountiful inventory that is more plentiful than most. For example, they have over 30 F-150s in stock and ready to rock. Zott Ford also has Expeditions, Explorers, Edges, Escapes, Bronco Sports, and even a couple of Mustangs available ready for you to drive home today. Not to mention, their pre-loved inventory is brimming with cars, trucks, and SUVs from all manufacturers and prices that start below $10,000. Plus, our boy Gabara can help you get interest rates as low as 1.9% and lease payments well below $300 a month. Finally, Zott Ford makes buying and leasing simple, fun, fast, and easy, and is still paying absolute top dollar for your trade-in. Get details and surf their Black Friday specials at dealsinthed.com and tell them TDC sent you.
Very good. What the hell's going on in Moscow, Idaho? Besides, I have family there. My aunt and uncle are there.
That's where they are?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Big Gonzaga fans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't they pronounce it differently? It's not Moscow, it's like Moscow or something like that to separate
I always
it.
knew it as Moscow.
Okay.
Idaho. Moscow?
I've heard it mentioned like on the news a few times because of the story, and I've heard it pronounced a little differently. I can't articulate it right now exactly of how they say it, but I feel like, they're trying to separate themselves from Moscow, the commies.
Oh, maybe.
So they say it a little bit differently.
Moscow.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always known it as Moscow, Idaho, but it could be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't shock me.
I lived in Carmel, Indiana, excuse me.
Yeah.
Not to be, but in California it's Carmel.
Carmel.
But in Indiana it's Carmel.
Yeah. Carmel.
Yeah.
Carmel, Indiana. Yeah. Of course it's Carmel.
Of course it is.
And of course they have to say Carmel. Yeah. Going down the coast.
Differentiate.
We're going to spend the weekend in Carmel. Yeah. We'll go down the coast, Big Sur, and hit Carmel on the way back.
Of course. Speaking of which, Faith and the girls in Zionsville just beat Carmel.
Oh, in Indiana.
Yeah.
In Diana.
Carmel was a ranked team, and they beat them by 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, Faith.
Zionsville's ranked like top 20 in the state.
Really? Good for them.
They got,
and that's a big basketball state, too.
The whole state, yeah. They got a girl that's already a commit to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do they get a good program, female program? I know their men's is. Yeah. Is Faith going to play?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. She probably won't be Division I. She's just too small, I think.
Yeah. A lot of chicks are.
Yeah. But she wants to
though.
go. Yeah, I know. She wants to go to Michigan.
Yeah.
So, she won't play there, but I can't imagine. But
yeah. She's going to have like a 4.9 average. She's Asian.
yeah, I wonder how that works if you're Asian but you have white parents. Wonder how that works.
That
Probably
goes
double
against
negative. You need to
Yeah.
have like a 6.2.
Oh, yeah. Unless you killed your white parents, then they'd probably boost you, throw you in there. Just to eliminate whitey, obviously.
Yeah. There's got to be some credit there, I think, for being an adopted child or something. There's got to be a box you can check for that.
Maybe. Too much privilege
Maybe.
on the white side of
Perhaps.
a family,
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out.
Yep.
know? She'll probably end up at Lake Superior State or something.
No.
Because she's got white parents.
Yeah.
Just do that. No offense to Lake Superior State.
If Michigan's a real option, she'll do just fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, she's Asian. Again, she'll do just fine no matter what. But, yeah, Moscow, Idaho. University of Idaho
Moscow.
students. Moscow. 4 students knifed to death. How do you knife 4 students to death? Now, there's a couple of them are chicks.
3 of them, weren't there? 3 of them chicks?
Was it 3
I
chicks?
think it's 3 chicks, 1 guy.
So you do the guy first, obviously.
Yes.
He's the only real threat.
Yeah, and then while the other ones are just cowering and screaming, you just stick them a few times.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I think I read that in If I Did It.
Oh, is it still alleged? As you look at photos from outside the house with blood running down the brick outside the house.
Oh, geez.
Soaked through the walls,
Come on.
running outside the house.
Oh, my God.
Not kidding. Yeah. They said they've got detectives that have been on the force 20, 30 years. They've never seen a crime scene like this.
Well, I believe it.
That gruesome. Yeah. Photos show blood dribbling down the side of the house while evidence markers could be seen on the interior walls and back porch. Police said the scene inside the home was the worst they've ever seen, with victims left to bleed out. So they weren't killed initially.
Well, no, right.
I mean,
they
were,
weren't
but-
dead at the time.
Yeah, just bleeding out as your heart slows, and it's just pumping out what's left of the life of you. We haven't, let's see, the trash was taken to a local garbage depot where hazmat-suited cops were seen sifting through garbage bags in a screened-off shed. The new developments come after a day where local authorities issued statements with
But
the
this
local...
this didn't even get any real pub because this was after the Virginia. This was like the same or the day before or just before hours before the Virginia shooting.
Right.
And that one got all this publicity. And
Did that one get more publicity because they were black or because they were football players?
Probably because they were
These are
football
all
players.
very
These
white
are-
people in
I
Idaho.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I didn't even know about this one. And then I heard something about the story and found out that
Yeah.
it happened hours before the University of Virginia shooting.
Yeah. I'm sort of joking, by the way. I don't think it's because they were black. I think it's because they were football players. You know what I mean? Which elevates it as far as like national interest story.
Yeah.
You know, it makes everybody go, oh, shit, what happens to Virginia's football season?
They had dead black people, and they didn't have the shooter yet. They were just praying it was a white guy.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine
For those
if it was
13
a white guy?
hours. Please be white. Please be white.
Can
Please be
you
white. Please be
imagine?
white.
I didn't even think
Have a
about it. I don't know
manifesto.
how
Have a manifesto. Please, please, please.
Yeah. Mention Dylan Dylan Roof. Please mention Dylan Roof in your manifesto. It'll prove us all right. We were right all along. All white people are evil. So
Yeah, this is horrific, and I didn't hear anything about it. That's just the irony of it.
yeah, it sounds like quite a scene. The local mayor describing it as a crime of passion, and cops insisted it was a targeted crime. So that makes me think, if you had a targeted crime, say, for argument's sake, the guy was the target. If it was one guy and 3 girls, I don't know what the makeup was exactly, but so you've got the victims. Ethan Chapin was discovered on the floor of the second level of a 3-story home. So let's say Ethan was the target. Ethan banged the wrong chick, whatever. Yeah. Someone knifed him. Does this sound to you like we can't leave any witnesses type of thing?
I mean, that's definitely possible.
Where it's like, shit, I didn't want to have to murder 3 hot white chicks, but
yeah,
you bitches have left me no choice.
You're here,
you should have stayed in bed with your little fucking eye sleeper things on.
Did they, wait, so do they have the perp, the stabber?
No.
The slasher? Still on the loose, right?
Yeah, they don't have the weapon.
Nothing.
So the other quote from the mayor was, something had occurred that resulted in these deaths.
Well, yeah, like a knife being inserted into their bodies.
Yeah.
That did occur.
I wonder how long it took him to put that together. Something had occurred that resulted in these deaths.
That's
seems like a bold statement.
Top-notch detective work over
Yeah, I mean, you hate the idea of people just willy-nilly running with a narrative.
Yeah.
So it takes balls to come out this early in the investigation and make comments like that. Something had occurred that resulted in these deaths. I mean, shit. Wow. Okay. He's taking a stand. He had previously suggested that the students may have been killed in a crime of passion or burglary gone wrong. It's one of a plentitude of possibilities. Sure. Someone could have flown above the house and dropped knives from their plane that could have just all magically landed in these victims.
That's a possibility.
I mean, there's a whole host or a plentitude of possibilities, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, there could have been someone out in the front yard throwing Chinese stars and got a little wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it's endless.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
They just call it an edged weapon.
Yeah. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
An edged weapon.
Because they don't know for sure. It could have been a machete, could have been a bayonet for all they know. Something sharp stabbed these kids and they bled. That's what we know.
Yeah, that's all we know. And something had occurred that resulted in these deaths.
Yeah. Really getting to the bottom of this.
Yeah. Cops in Moscow also were at pains to reassure locals that no one else is at risk. All 4 deaths are homicides. Okay. You don't know how this happened. Yep. You don't know who did it. Mm-hmm. You haven't found the knife, yet you've already reassured the community. Nothing to see.
There's no threat here.
Nah, threat's
We're
over.
pretty sure this is a targeted attack.
Here's what they said, T, to your point.
Oh, man.
Although no weapons have been located, investigators believe that an edged weapon, such as a knife, was used. Is this for 3rd graders? Are we teaching people to read with this?
Yeah,
for the first time?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they can't say with all certainty, like a knife. It's consistent with a knife wound, but we haven't seen the weapon, so it could have been something else. Could have been a shiv. Could have been a.
Yeah, you think someone shaved down a fucking toothbrush
possible.
And shivved them all to death?
Possible. That's an edged weapon.
Would that be an edged weapon?
I would think so. It's a weapon with an edge. So,
investigators are continuing to work diligently on establishing a timeline of relevant events to recreate the victims' activities on November 12th and the early morning of November 13th. No arrests obviously have been made so far.
I just love that they don't have the suspect. They don't have the weapon. They don't have any information about it, yet they're calling it a crime of passion.
Yeah, or possibly burglary.
Yeah.
How many burgle attempts happen where you end up stabbing to death 4 people?
Right.
That, if you're going to lean one way or another, I'd say crime of passion and eliminate all witnesses. We've seen enough movies. We've seen enough fucking CSIs to know you make the mistake of listening to someone that goes, I promise I'll never say a word to anybody. I'll never say a word to anybody. Stab that motherfucker to death.
Right in the neck.
No. The minute you leave the house, they're going to fucking tattle on you. 100% of the time.
Yeah. What's the difference between 1 murder and 4 at that point?
Nothing.
Right?
Nothing. You know?
Yeah. Either get away or you don't.
More street cred in prison.
Yeah.
You know?
Nope.
Motherfucker, you just killed 1.
That's all you got? Your numbers.
Pussy.
Your numbers are shit.
Your numbers is shit, pussy.
Still tragic. I mean, no matter what, but
yeah,
I would like to have some answers. That would be nice.
Aren't we developing more of a timeline? Didn't that that story that you had pulled up right before we
Well,
started.
there's some
Aren't there
there's video
pictures of them,
there's
or-
video of them
at a party, right, or something.
well, they like getting food or something. Is this where is that one? Nope. Nope. What happened?
Scroll down. They've updated the story.
That's not it. I don't think we're there anyway. But anyway, yeah, there was just some video of it, and I thought I had heard something about that somebody was in that video. I just kind of came across. I was at work freezing my ass
Gross.
off, and so I did not really. Oh yeah. Oh, so that's what it was. I guess it was not the suspect. It's the mystery man, is what they call this.
Oh God.
Well, let's see.
Do you know how many times we would have been declared mystery men at at one of Deuce's frat parties?
Well, of course. No, so this was a from the Post here.
So go back. Okay.
Pull this other one up here. Video shows University of Idaho students with a mystery man hours before the murder. So they don't know who this guy is. He's with
So
these
the one in the
women.
middle is the mystery man.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. Go ahead, play it.
Let's give it a shot.
So they've got the arrow pointing to the girl.
These are the two girls here.
Police are looking for the man who
Oh, no, it's
arrived
this guy.
to a food truck the same time as the victims, hours before they were seen. He showed up at a food truck on a college campus hours before.
Well,
We better throw him in jail for the time being.
let's see. The man lingered behind them as they picked up their order. Get out of there. So I don't know. I mean, I guess they're trying everything. They just happen to see, what's this guy? Why is he staring at him? Maybe he was waiting for their food. Who knows?
Of course he was. I mean,
maybe he didn't go up and order any food. I don't know.
yeah, that seems like a stretch.
It is, of course.
It
But
seems like, look, if this was a random drive-by shooting and some assholes just drove by a frat house or whatever and just opened fire, and you could go, it's random, violence happens. Something as personal as that, where you stab 4 people to death, my guess is before you say anything to the media, maybe go through all their phones and find out who was having an altercation with someone.
Yeah, it's generally everything you need to know is probably there.
Yeah. This could easily be that dude fucked the wrong girl and his boy found out, and his boy's a fucking psycho and went over and stabbed him. And
It could be as much as, hey, can I come over? Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, we have somebody at the crime scene.
Exactly. It seems like that'd be easy to put together, that kids aren't that smart. Kids are not thinking that far ahead at that age, especially.
Yeah, not with a crime of passion anyway, too. Generally, it's
right.
If it's not premeditated.
In my opinion, the only way this would be a tough crime to solve is if it was completely random.
Yeah.
If whoever killed them, I'm going to assume it's a guy. If some guy broke into this house and just went on a stab spree, got all stabby, with 4 students, and they had no connection together, good luck. 80% chance that murder never gets solved.
Oh, for sure.
Especially if he's gone now.
Even with that, there's still the DNA, there's surveillance, everybody's ring cameras and stuff to see you going in and out, and you start breaking down this timeline, and you start, working backwards from the girls, and
right.
So I don't know. I mean, it's sad, but something's going on there.
Yeah.
Something led to them being stabbed.
Yeah. Well,
For
we don't
sure.
know that they were stabbed yet, do we?
Oh, well, they were they left to bleed out.
Yes, they were left to bleed out. And don't forget, something had occurred that resulted in these deaths.
Exactly.
That's really all we know
That's
at this
where I was trying
point.
to go with that, yeah.
Yeah. Something occurred.
Something did occur.
Likelihood of a what did you say, an edged
weapon, or an edged object, edged weapon?
edged object?
Something like that.
Something like that.
Edged weapon. It's like a knife.
All right, let's move laterally.
Cuts like a knife.
Let's move laterally across the country.
All right.
And south. We'll go to Kentucky.
Okay.
And we had this video.
Geography lesson.
I'm thinking that's right? From
Yeah.
Moscow, Idaho.
Yeah, south and east.
Yeah, south and east, way south and east.
Yep.
University of Kentucky student Sophia Rosing.
Rosing?
Rosing? R-O-S-I-N-G.
Okay, yeah.
What are you going with? Rosing?
Rosing.
Really?
Yeah, Rosing. No, Rosing, I think.
Is it
Rosing? Rosing.
We had this video the other day. I meant to show you. We ended up not getting to it, but she drops the N-bomb like 200 times.
What's she doing?
Fighting with an N-word.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
I mean, you can't call them that, can you?
No, I'm pretty sure you can't actually. Yeah. I mean, you can.
Yeah.
But it's not going to end well.
She called her an N-word bitch over 200 times.
And she did not just get pummeled?
And she's hammered drunk.
Okay.
Which, you know.
I mean,
look.
We've talked about it. The first one, you know,
Yeah.
say it again.
Say it again.
But once that second or third one comes out,
say it again.
I can't believe
But
that she's
it's
just
chicks.
not. Ice doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Have you, World Star? Have you seen any videos?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. And props to this girl, I guess.
But there's no weaves to be yanked out. That's what's so fun. A lot of times when you see one of those full-on front lawn brawls that ends up with weaves everywhere. Those
I love the ones where they're like wearing their fucking dresses, clubbing dresses and stuff, and their asses are just hanging out, titties are flopping out.
Well, those dresses 100% of the time don't fit to begin with. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And that is not a. I'm not being hyperbolic. 100% of the time, those dresses do not fit right.
That's not. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So what did you say? Rosing?
I'm gonna go Rosing.
Okay, Rosing. He's 22, appeared in court, pled not guilty at an initial hearing with her attorney, Fred Peters.
Oh boy.
Wearing a mask. That was her biggest problem, in my opinion. She waived her right for a prelim after calling fellow student Kyla Spring the N-word more than 200 times. She's dressed in a cream blazer, black trousers. Rosing was supported by her parents in the courtroom. All right, T, as a parent, how big of a bummer would this be? Because you can't leave her high and dry. You got to support your kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, listen. This came from somewhere. I'm betting there's a Trump flag in that house somewhere.
Do you put? Okay.
Once
you get started, this is going to be hard to word properly, and I admit that it might not come out well. I'll admit that.
Okay.
When you start going down, once you decide to drop the initial N-bomb,
Yep.
right?
You're in. You're all in.
You're all in. Now you throw on top of that hammered drunk.
Okay.
Do you give her any sort of grace? Like, not saying she wouldn't have dropped the N-bomb. We've seen plenty of kids do that.
Yep.
But when you get like, this person eventually blacked out somewhere, probably. Do you go, once that ball's rolling and now they're antagonizing you and acting like, oh, did you hear what she just said? Now she's amped up and she's super fucking drunk.
Well, I'm sure liquor plays a part in this.
Yeah.
The lowered
Does it
inhibitions
excuse anything at all?
No. Not when you cross those lines.
Yeah.
I mean, because the truth sort of comes out in those moments.
Yeah, but I feel like I've said some shit.
You might regret it, but
that I've regretted. I've
that
thought
doesn't
ill
mean,
of.
But that doesn't mean that you didn't mean it on some level when you said it.
Well, no. I'm not talking about an N-bomb.
No, I'm not saying that either.
I'm just saying there's definitely been times when I've said stuff to people where it's like, you drunken idiot. What the fuck are you saying?
Well, and there's times
where
too
I
that,
didn't mean it.
But you're going
at all.
You also in these situations will try to say and do the most hurtful things.
Yeah.
So
100%.
But
should we watch the video?
Oh, I would love to.
And if it gets too bleepy, which it will,
I was going to say 200 times.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute video. The original video I saw was like 1:45, and so they've added the whole video. Like, we needed to see more of it.
Okay, well, let's see.
But I wanted you to see how hot she was. Does that take any of the blame away?
No, because she's ugly on the inside.
Oh shit! But ugly on the inside. There's a lot of ugly chicks on the inside who, it's been fun to play around with.
Well, yeah,
but
doesn't help her case.
For those two guys. Yep. I can do it. No, that wasn't how. Yes.
So, is there any context to this of why they're arguing or what they're fighting over
I
here.
think
Because they don't look like they're fighting. The girl, the black girl in the sweatshirt looks like she's just kind of.
I think she's working the front desk at what would be
Wherever she's trying to get in or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was just trying to get some context of what's going on.
I don't think she's shit.
This isn't a bar fight. This isn't you fucked my boyfriend. This isn't anything like this. This is.
No.
Okay. Just curious.
Could you stop, please? No.
So she's swinging at her.
Yeah.
She's hammered. And the black girl's just holding her off.
Yeah.
It's pretty hot though, right?
Yeah, I mean.
I mean, look at that ass.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
It's all on video.
Me too.
I got some.
Oh boy.
You're in it.
Oh boy. Yeah.
God, anything worse than that age drunk girl?
No.
That age drunk girl sucks.
Yep. Yeah.
And she's probably gotten away with murder for years because she's hot. I mean, look at them titties and that ass tea.
That's fine.
Right? It's no, but I
Yeah.
mean, you got to acknowledge that's
Yeah. It's just.
look at women fight.
Well, they're not even trying to fight. They're just trying to, and I mean, props to these girls because they could be just curb stomping this racist
Yeah.
little cunt right
Yeah, they
now,
could. Yeah,
and
they
I would have no problem with it whatsoever. She's swinging on them.
Yeah.
She's throwing. Oh, there you go.
there you go.
All right, we got a little ass out of there. They're in college. She's legal.
She's 22. She's holding her balance for as fucked up as she is.
Yeah. Look
She
at-
apparently bit a copper later too.
Okay, yeah, she's a disaster. Oh, she is holding her own really well. I mean, for the heels and the short skirt and all that, she's
Wouldn't you
trying to
just-
get a shopping cart.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
out of
yeah,
the board.
that's
Wouldn't you just give her a little push and just send her flying somewhere?
Well, I mean, like I said, super props to these two girls for not taking it personally, not crossing the line, understanding that this girl is just all the wrong.
Yeah.
And the two wrongs are not going to make a right because she absolutely deserved to be just getting her shit kicked in right now.
So her parents are in court.
Yeah.
They've
I think we get the gist of that. I
courtroom.
don't think we need to watch any more of that.
No.
Nothing else really happens in there.
No.
Yeah.
No, she just keeps saying it over
Yeah,
and over.
okay.
Cops have probably been called at this point. They're just waiting for local security to get there or whatever. And then she ends up biting, I think, a cop, which is a felony.
All right, yeah.
She's facing a felony charge for that. What she is not facing charges for is dropping the N-bomb 100.
Well, because it's not technically illegal.
Yeah.
Well, it's frowned upon. I've always said that. Like, being a racist, it's not illegal.
Yeah.
It's not okay, necessarily. But that's a social norm, not a legal issue.
Right. I'm trying to think. Okay, so they got her for...
Although, I'm not sure that you can't wiggle around into some sort of hate speech charge with that now.
But... And maybe that comes later.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But they've got a list of her things. Hate speech isn't real, first off, because anything can be defined as hate speech.
I agree.
Right?
That's what I'm
Calling
saying.
someone
So
stupid.
you could shoehorn a charge in there.
Of
is what I'm
course
saying.
you could.
Yeah.
So,
She could be a domestic terrorist.
right. Let's see. She started singing the N-word, too, when the cops were dragging her away.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
She got a song and everything?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at her.
She faces charges of alcohol
I
intoxication.
bet it was out of tune.
Yeah, probably. Or she sings like a fucking canary and, can't wait to bust into song. She's one of those chicks.
Maybe, yeah.
So, alcohol intoxication, if you're of legal age.
Well, there's drunken public type of a thing.
Yeah, but it
Drunken
doesn't say that.
disorderly.
It says alcohol intoxication.
That's an actual charge?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look it up.
Disorderly conduct,
Yeah.
assault, assaulting a police officer, which is a felony. President
Assault, regular assault's not a felony? Interesting.
Yeah, no.
Assaulting the girls is not a felony?
Well, it's more just like arm jockey.
Well, I understand, but it's still
know?
assault.
I don't know. Assault to me is if you slapped her.
Well, they charged her. I'm just saying. Well, she tried just because she missed.
Yeah, she missed a lot.
She whiffed a lot because she sucks and she was wasted.
Yeah.
But intent means everything. If we learn nothing on this show, Michael, that intent means everything.
Yeah.
If I shoot you right now, and
Unless
miss,
it's words.
If I shoot you and I miss, but I
Still
tried to kill
attempted.
you,
You're not going to get me for murder, though.
I
which
understand
is-
that, but it shouldn't be a misdemeanor because I didn't actually kill you.
Yeah, true. President of University of Kentucky, Eli Capilouto. Of course, the president of the University of Kentucky is named Eli. You know, he says he confirms she was suspended on an interim basis as they continued their investigation.
Oh, yeah.
You might want to wrap that investigation.
Yeah, I
up,
don't think it's
Eli.
going to go too long.
Yeah, and then the next sentence says
Well, but
they also said
does that mean she's not allowed to go to school anymore? She's canceled for life, too?
it says she's suspended on an interim basis as they continued their investigation. And then hear this. They also said she is no longer a student, is not eligible to re-enroll as a student, and is permanently banned from the campus.
Guess that answers that question.
Huh. So which is it? All of those things, like she can't even fucking look at the campus on a catalog.
Yeah.
Or she's suspended on an interim basis
What's
while
she
we
suspended
investigate.
from?
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Wait, you're not a student, you're not enrolled, you're not allowed to enroll, and you're not even allowed to look at the campus.
But for now, you're
But
just
you're
suspended. Yeah. A little double talking jive bullshit there.
Yeah. It comes after, so the Daily Mail did a little research. They love doing, Daily Mail loves
Yeah.
doing this. Look in and go, let's see what this racist bitch is all about.
And pro tip out there: if
Man,
Daily Mail
yes.
ever calls you, hang
Hang
up.
up.
Do not answer that phone.
No, the guy's going to be sweet
Yeah,
as
just
fucking
like to ask you a
cotton
couple
candy.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah, look, man, we're trying to get your story out there.
Yeah.
That's all we want to do
Right.
is help you get your story out there.
We know you're the real victim here.
Yeah, your side is important to hear from as well, and we'd like to give you that platform.
Call the parents.
As he's
Did
just-
you see them N-words attacking my daughter? They should go to jail.
Nothing. What would you expect from a couple of N-words? Roaming free, if you notice. They're just roaming free in them hallways like they ain't N-words. The Daily Mail guy's just he's just got the
Yep.
phone up to his
Oh,
chin.
yeah,
as he's digging her
absolutely
grave.
right. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
We're just trying to get your side of the story. Yeah.
And what
it's
was your name
clear You
again?
raised a right. What was your name again? Yeah. So, Daily Mail figured out that she allegedly doxed a 15-year-old girl while they were in high school, publicly posting that she would send nudes and falsely claim that this girl had an abortion. So she's a cunt. I think we've established that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
this is someone whose
Ugly
hotness
on the inside.
whose hotness has let her get away with a lot of cunty things over the years. You know, Rosing's lawyer also said that she would be going to rehab to address her issues.
Of course, that's first step.
Yeah, as well as undergoing racial sensitivity training. Ugh, if they ever send me to that fucking thing. You know, oh, man. She dropped out of school after the footage of the 10-minute-long tirade was posted online.
Can you imagine having no recollection of that whatsoever? Being
Oh,
just
yeah.
like blackout drunk and then wake up to that.
Yeah. And as pieces came
In
back
jail,
to you,
like, what happened? Wait, I
Wait,
remember. Why
what?
am I in jail? And then find out that there's video posted 10 minutes of you dropping 200 fucking N-words.
it's like our buddies who we've named before, but we don't need to name here. But we got pulled over and arrested, and we were all hammered. The only reason I didn't get in trouble is because I was in the back seat. I was not driving. It wasn't my car. The person driving was shit-faced, and he was arrested, and the person passenger seat started beating the shit out of the car next to our car on the road, which started the whole thing.
That is. Double check my math on that. That is staggering.
What?
That is an N-word every 2 seconds.
In a 10-minute tirade?
Yeah. 10 minutes?
She must have gone
would-
N-word, like at some point, because she was not dropping it every 2 seconds
No.
there.
Right? Oh, no. Hold on. Sorry.
Come on, Isis.
Yeah. No, I missed a zero there. That's why I was like, hold on. That can't be right.
But what you're talking about when our boys went to jail, and
yeah.
I asked the cop for a ride home, and he was like, "Fuck off, you fucking walk, asshole."
dick.
Yeah, told me to basically eat a dick. I might have called you from a mobile at like 2 a.m, whatever it was. I don't know why you wouldn't have even been with us, but either way, they go
Because
to
I was
jail.
a good boy.
Yeah,
I don't do that shit.
they start blowing up my parents' phone at like 4 a.m. And
You had two different lines. Why are they calling your parents' phone?
Well, whatever, in my parents' home. not relevant to the story.
Oh, yeah.
They start blowing the phone up.
Smartest thing your parents ever did was get a kids line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Two
yeah.
lines in the house, one for them, one for you guys.
Oh, yeah,
So
it
you
was
didn't have to deal
awesome.
with that shit.
Yeah, it's great.
Friend, you didn't answer yours. Fuck it, call the plant. Bob, Pat.
Where are they at? We're late. They were calling me and leaving messages. They were getting me on the phone. It was like, hi, you have a collect call from a Southfield Correctional Facility. Would you like to accept the charges? And it was like, and then they'd be screaming in the background. They took their shoes and shoelaces. They gave them flip-flops. And for some reason, they got a pen, and they'd written Fila on their flip-flops. And the other guy wrote like Adidas on his, and so they were bragging on the phone, hammered drunk. That,
Yeah.
I got Adidas, and he's wearing Fila's, blah, blah. And they thought it was the funniest fucking shit in the world until the next morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then the one guy that was in the cell with him, a black dude, just sitting there by himself. And they finally come to. They finally wake up, hungover in the morning. He's like, ain't so funny now, is it? That's all he said to him. Ain't so funny now, is it? Uh-huh. So, yeah, if she went to the
It's a
clink,
tough way to wake up, man.
I guarantee she pissed herself in that cell, too.
Probably.
Yeah.
God damn it, I just got a text.
From?
My sister.
Oh, no. What's going on now?
Faith hit 97 of her 100 free throws.
Are you shitting me?
I told you, I knew she was fucking, she's 90+%.
Dude, that's better than Steph Curry.
She had 97 of her 100.
Did they lower the rim and move it up 10 feet?
I doubt it.
Wow. For her.
Okay. Check coming.
During her rampage, by the way, Rosing told the police officers, I get special treatment because I have lots of money.
Oh, yep. Okay. There we go.
It turns out she does not have lots of money.
Sounded good, though.
Yeah. I would say you get special treatment because of the titties.
That helps.
And the ass. I know you're not giving me this one, but she's plenty hot enough.
Exactly, of course.
To be a cunt and get away with it.
Definitely.
Plenty hot enough for that. So I get special treatment because I'm got lots of money. Her parents, with her siblings and her parents, live in like a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom little bungalow. Like nothing big.
Yeah.
Fine. Great house.
Yeah.
But
You're not.
lots
loaded.
of money person. No. Let's see. Well, anyway.
For Kentucky, that is lots of money.
Let's see. I am deeply saddened by the by the events that took place, but I am most grateful for justice that is to come. To Miss Rosing, you will not break my spirit. This is the
girl in the video?
N-word
Ooh,
one.
jeez. Whoa.
Well, no. That just so we're clear,
Yeah.
the one that was being called the N-word.
The other girl in the video.
Yeah, the one the N-word one. That she was scrapping
Yes,
with. You
of course.
remember?
Yeah,
you
I
know.
saw her. Yeah.
Yeah. That one made a statement. I'm deeply saddened by the events that took place. I'm most grateful for justice that is to come.
Well, let's hope.
To
Oh, no,
Miss
she's got a
Rosin.
lot of money and good titties. She'll
Yeah.
make it off scot-free.
Fuck yeah.
Find out.
And it's in Kentucky. Get old Judge
Yeah, right.
Eli on the case.
Yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with what nothing you did.
Shit.
All right, you did bite a police officer, even though
Yeah.
he shouldn't have arrested you in the first place. So I'm going to go ahead and just give you a $20 fine and 6 months probation. How about that?
Listen here, sweetheart, little princess. You got to knock that stuff off. You never know how many N-words are around when you start shouting N-word like that. You got to be careful. You got to be careful, all
Next
right?
time, make sure nobody's videoing you.
Yeah. All you got to do, sweetheart, take them sexy little titties you got there, do a 360, make sure no one's filming before you start dropping N-bombs all willy-nilly. Keep yourself out of a lot of trouble. I can't do this for you. So, to Miss Rossi, you will not break my spirit. You will not, and you will be held accountable for your actions. I only pray that you open your heart to love and try to experience life differently and more positively. As Michelle Obama once said, when they go low, we go high.
She did say that.
Big Mike did say that. He did. He did. He didn't mean it when he said it.
No.
But Big Mike definitely said it, and then,
Yeah.
shit all over
Well,
the tenets of that stuff.
like I said, I props to those girls for going high and not kicking the shit out of her. Not.
Would have been sort of justified.
I would have no problem with it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it just shows the ignorance of that little twat.
A year before the
But the problem is, and
incident,
it's even better, because had they beat her ass, it would change the narrative of the story.
if they would have curb stomped her. Yeah.
Just been sitting there, that would have changed everything. The fact that
Well-
they were able to, nobody should have to put up with that.
Had
That's
that
the
been-
reality of it. Nobody should have to put up to that.
No, they shouldn't. And had that been at a bar, excuse me, had that been at a bar on campus or a fraternity, that could have been really bad. The fact is, those two black girls were sober.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
one's
some
working
sort
at the
of
front
official
desk.
capacity, whatever it was.
Yeah. And so they were not interested in getting into a fucking, life-altering, ass-kicking brawl with some idiot, racist, drunken fool.
Yeah.
They knew it was being videoed. They knew their actions were also being videoed.
Absolutely
and
right.
so the best way to handle that was exactly as they did. Don't swing back. Just wait for the cavalry to show up.
Yeah.
and
I
say,
can only imagine, though. I mean, to be in that situation, there's very few things somebody could say to me that would enrage me. I mean, just literally, you can't hurt my feelings that way. No, I mean, you could say some things. No, but I mean,
you
like,
explode on people just for
for driving like assholes.
Yeah,
but,
driving like assholes.
But I mean, as far as like insulting me personally, right? Like saying the N-word, right? Cracker, any of that kind of stuff. That's quite different though. And I could just see it. I mean, even with the best of intentions, I can see that just sort of tick, 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 boom. Yeah. Okay, that's the last one I'm going to listen to. And now I'm going to end your fucking life.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it would take. Like, if you were with a black friend and someone was acting like that, at some point, I think you would have had enough.
Absolutely.
And handled shit yourself.
Yeah.
Not that your black buddy couldn't handle his own shit.
No. I mean, that goes for, just about any situation. But I don't tolerate ignorance.
Yeah, you don't like ignorance.
But hey, it's open enrollment for individual health care.
Oh, I do.
Don't go online and get swindled or pick the wrong plan. Let Nick Matthews from Your Insurance Expert do all the legwork for you. He's licensed in most states and an expert in health insurance, life insurance, and Medicare supplements, so you don't have to be. Even if you have questions or just want to see if you can save a little money, call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. Nick Matthews, Your Insurance Expert.
I need to talk to him.
Yeah, you
if
do.
you're listening. It's time for a call.
Yeah, open enrollment's only got a certain amount of time.
I know.
It's time sensitive.
It is. Dozens of parents turned out to an Illinois school board meeting to defend a teacher who was suspended for denying a transgender student to change inside a boy's locker room, which has put his employment in jeopardy.
Okay.
Cody Hiller, married father of 6. Jeez, slow down, Cody.
Pull out once in a while. Fuck.
Right? Jesus, that's what a stomach is for.
Well, I think, you get these religious guys. It's just for procreating. you know?
It's just crazy.
Dump a load.
They think a belly button is just to fill up. It's fucking nuts. Or they don't think it is. They want to dump in the vagine. It's like, dude, pick an asshole or a belly button, something.
Yeah, that's what happens.
6 kids on a fucking phys ed teacher salary?
What happens when you're fucking pro-life?
Yeah.
You can't get rid of it if you wanted to.
Yeah, true. So anyways, he's a teacher at West Frankfort High School, was placed on leave last month. Hiller said, when the school received new students, one trans boy told administrators they planned on using the boys' locker room. Okay, so this is a chick who wants to go into the guys' locker room.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
I mean, yeah, like, okay.
I mean, Title IX won't allow you to discriminate, but that one I don't really have a problem with.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the fucking dude going in the women's that I think we all have a problem with.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem.
It's not safe for anybody, Hiller said. This is not against this particular student. Say it pretty much is.
Well, I mean, it's the fact that, okay, even though you identify, pretend to be, a man.
Yeah.
Or non-binary, whatever it is you choose. What if you were non-binary? Would you just not have a locker room?
Yeah. Just change in the hallway.
You get the janitor's closet to go just change up in?
Yeah. No, whatever you feel like that day.
Yeah. So, I mean, the reality is that, okay, you think that way, you feel that way, but your body is not that way, which is essentially why they separate, because of the nudie parts between the boys and the girls.
What is it? Is it just you don't want to see dicks and guys with dicks don't want to see vagines and titties?
Well, then why do they have separate locker rooms in the first place?
No, I don't know. Is it they're worried about like sexual assaults taking place, or?
Well, I mean,
I know at that age it's a totally different thing about like being embarrassed about your body, and there's plenty of girls and guys who would not want the opposite sex walking into the bathroom. for fear that they're going to see your giant dick or your tiny dick and then tell the whole school. And, like there's a lot of fear that goes into that. You and I would have been fine, obviously, with her.
But I mean, that's just the way it is. That's why it's separated the way it is. It's not because of their face. It's not because of their hair. It's not because of their physical abilities. It's because of their body. It's because of that's historically the way it is. Right or wrong, that's the way it is. But so even though you identify, it's one thing if you in a bathroom, like using a men's bathroom, okay? If you go in a stall and nobody sees you, then okay, what's the real difference? If, for that matter, you could do it in a women's bathroom.
Right.
Nobody's going to see you. What
done
doesn't
it
make
at a
a
concert.
difference? But in the locker room, if you're going to be changing with everybody else, that's sort of the demarcation line. Is boobs and vaginas over there, penis is over here.
Yeah.
And even though that
And it seems like that should be a protected safe space.
I would think so.
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about intimate shit, not to be a prude.
So this is a teacher.
Yeah, the phys ed teacher is like, look, I want protections for this student. It's not about this student.
So all the way up the chain of command here through the school board, all this, it's fine. They say that this person should be able to do it, but this guy was the last line of defense. He's the one.
No, it sounds like you've got new students, and the chick who pretends to be a guy is telling administrators, by the way, I'm using the men's shitter locker room. And this guy went, the fuck? No, you're not.
Yeah, but so why is it his? That's my question. He's
the phys ed teacher. He's in charge of that locker room.
Not
He's not
really.
having it.
Yeah, but the peer principal's in charge of that school. The school district's in charge of that whole school. It's their decision to be made.
He says everyone's too afraid to speak out.
So
for
is that
fear
it?
of losing their jobs. So
they've all signed off on this. That's my question. That they all say it's okay, and he was the last line of defense. Is like fuck that, not on my watch.
He said he's the only person to speak out because others are afraid to lose their jobs and livelihood, which is understandable.
Yeah, because it's about to happen to him, of course.
Yeah.
But there's got to be there's got to be policy.
He's got to be religious.
There's got to be precedent. It doesn't matter whether he is or he isn't.
What do you mean? Like if they've never let girls in the boys' locker room, which they haven't.
Exactly.
Like why would?
So why does it change now? Because this person says
because they know as a school district, even if they stand up in front of the cameras and go, we're not having chicks in the guys' fucking locker room. People are going to lose their shit. You'll get funded from California, New York to remove the whole school board. Like it'll be a shit show. So people would rather just sweep it under the rug.
I know, but I don't understand why. I just don't understand why it's this teacher's sword to fall on. Why he's the one that's taking the fall for this. Well, then at that point it'd be like, fine, fuck it. What do I care? You can do whatever you want to do.
He says it wasn't a choice. If it cost me my job, then it cost me my job. So he's grounded in something. He's probably a religious guy.
Well, that's fine.
And he just says, no, we're not having this. I'm not doing this in my
locker room. If the school district
room.
says that you have to allow it, and he says no because of his beliefs, then he's wrong.
Yeah. I say turn her loose in the boys' locker room. Let the animals handle it.
That's my point. That's why I'm trying to figure out where we're at in this process right now.
Yeah.
If everybody else along the line has been like, yeah, of course, that's totally fine.
I don't know that they've done that.
I know. And then it's him, and he's like, no, fuck, over my dead body, you're going to let that tranny in here. Fuck that. Then he's on the line. But if he's the one saying it and everybody else is like, well.
It sounds like maybe there is law. Parents in the district turned out in full force to ask the board, do not fire Hitler.
Oh, my God.
Hiller.
Whoa. Oh.
Hiller.
Yeah,
Hiller.
there it is.
I did not have Hitler on the mind.
That's a little thing we call the Freudian slip right there.
Remember, his name was Cody Hitler. Hiller. Damn it, Cody Hiller. You can't say, I mean, it even looks like Hitler in print and his behavior. I mean, he won't let a chick into the men's locker room.
Right.
It's very Hitlerian. So he says parents turned out saying, don't fire Hiller and to do the right thing. This is bad law, James Conyers said. You need to stand up for good laws and laws that mean something to everyone. I'm disappointed in how you've done your job. So I'm assuming that's one of the attorneys, Conyers?
Maybe.
The local school board
parent?
voted to give Hiller a remedial warning on November 3rd, paving the way for him to return to work. After being placed on leave again for an unknown reason, the board again voted to give the gym teacher a remedial warning on Monday, clearing the way for him to return to school. The Illinois State Board of Education institutes the Illinois Human Rights Act, which states a civil rights violation for schools to deny or refuse to another the full and equal enjoyment of the facilities, goods, and services on the basis of gender identity or other protected status. Well, that's
a slippery slope right there. That's a fine line. Nobody said you couldn't change in the locker room. We just said which locker room you could change.
I was just gonna say, this idea that you should have full and equal enjoyment of the facilities and goods. Well, you do.
Yeah.
You
absolutely
have full access to the facilities, the women's facilities.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen, when you plop those titties out and you go get yourself a little forearm dick and get that putty put on there, then come on into the boys' locker room.
Yeah.
At that point,
helicopter away.
At that point, come on in.
Yeah.
But until then, when you've got two boobies in a fucking
Meat
badge,
curtains.
unfortunately, you're going to have to change with the two boobies in a vag. Even if you
boobies, God, it's a shit.
I'm going to say it a lot more now.
Titties,
boobies,
titties,
boobies. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that if that's what it is, if this school board, if the policy and everything all along the line is that, yep, that person gets to go in there, it's already been established, and this guy's just standing on his laurels and his beliefs saying no, then he's wrong.
Well,
he just is.
They said the parents in the community came out in droves.
Of course, because there's a lot of like-minded parents.
Yeah,
but if that's
you
have to change the law.
Like
because you don't like the law doesn't mean you get to.
You get some liberal fucking shit, and you're talking about Illinois.
I know.
Okay, so there's a lot of liberals running the whole goddamn state, and they're just making wild decisions on things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll just declare whatever. And so you're finally seeing people go, you know what, this is bullshit. My son goes to this school. He's in 10th grade. He doesn't even have hair on his balls yet. Last thing he needs is some fucking chick coming into the restaurant. It's uncomfortable enough. Can we knock this nonsense off? Yep. I would understand that.
I completely understand. I mean, listen, I understand every aspect of it.
Teams over that. Just going, it's not worth it.
100%.
I'm not playing this fucking game.
Yep.
You politicians are playing games. I'm a student here. Yep. I'm the one that's got to deal with it, and I'm not comfortable. And so some of these parents are standing up and going, dude, no, we're not cool with this.
Of course not.
So I get it. And if this guy goes, hey, look, man, if it takes me getting fucking fired over this, so be it.
Yeah, it's like just another example of, okay, great. You took your stand. You can sleep well at night. Fine. You're fired, and they're just going to put somebody in there that is going to be okay with it. So are we any better off as a society because of that? No.
No, I understand that. I understand that argument. And, I would be more on your side if it was like, it's a state law. You can't, you can't bring a gun to school. Mm-hmm. And this gym teacher decides, fuck you, I'm bringing a gun to school. You never know. And you go, the guy's standing on his morals, and it's like, well, then go change the law, fuckface. I get it.
Yeah,
it's a little more cut and dry than something arbitrary like this. I don't think the state has voted on this shit.
That's why I said I don't know the exact state, the status of where it is. It
could have just been that ghoul, Lori Lightfoot, just broadly.
Yeah, and it could have just been a school board decision that made that happen. I don't know. But unfortunately, the way the world works is by rules. Without rules, it's anarchy.
Yeah.
Whether you like them or not, you have to change them. But you have to play by the rules that are in play.
Yeah.
That's just the fact of the matter.
Mm-hmm.
It just is. And unfortunately, just because you don't agree with it doesn't make you right.
Who, me or him?
No, him. Yeah. Whatever. Anybody.
Yeah, I have respect for people.
I do too. I think it's make very, a stand. I do too. I absolutely do.
It's not so much about making a stand. It's about, we all know there's a reason it's an uncomfortable topic for so many people. There's a reason why we shouldn't have to have this discussion where we're deciding whether or not, like you have to scold parents who are like, all right, I'll read the passage out of the book since you think it's okay for fucking 10-year-olds to be reading about a 12-year-old boy sucking off a fucking 40-year-old man in the park. And you seem to think that's good reading for middle school kids. I fucking think that's horrible. Mm-hmm. And you find out what happens when parents stand up all over the nation and shut that shit down. They were just fine shoving this shit in your face. Mm-hmm. And ask them how that worked out in Dearborn. Ask them how it worked out in a lot of school districts. And so this is just another one of those things, I think.
Sure.
Where it's not your typical, like, the fuck, I'm going to be driving 15 miles an hour in a school zone. Fuck you. I'll do 40 if I want.
No, but that's fine. So
You know?
so collectively do that, and that's what they've done. But like I said, it's the fact that it's gone all the way downhill to this teacher,
Yeah.
and it's landed solely on his shoulders. Gives me some questions about if everybody else above him has been like, yeah, dude, that's the rules. You got to let that go.
Well,
But
I would say that applies if you're talking about 15 miles an hour in a school zone. This guy's like, fuck that. It's 25 in every other subdivision. I'm not doing a mile an hour less than 25. I think you could argue that 99% of the people are like, dude, it's fucking school zone. Just do 15 and shut up. I don't think you're going to find universal approval across the board.
you're not going
for
to find
these things.
universal approval on anything.
No,
anymore.
but you're going to find a hell of a lot more people that totally disagree and are terrified to say anything. Well, we're
okay.
going to have to disagree to agree.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, you say that and you think that and you believe that, but I'm really and until recently I've felt and believed that too.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to question that.
Yeah.
If it really is the majority of people that feel that way.
Yeah.
I'm questioning it. I really am.
Well, they're wrong then.
Okay,
is
there you
fine.
go. Base.
All right, let's get to some email. So, you know what's worse than being sucked into a wood chipper or compressed into a trash truck?
Let's see.
Having your arms sucked into an auger on a salt spreading truck. When I worked in Fraser, we saw on a video the remains of what happened when a guy was cleaning his auger out and his hoodie sleeve got wrapped into the blades and ripped his arm off at the shoulder.
Oof. Yeah, that's a bad one when you survive it.
Yeah.
Urgh.
Oh, I wonder if it would just like slowly tear or if it would just be like
I
gone.
don't know. Those augers are pretty heavy duty.
Yeah.
I mean, that probably just ripped it right off.
Ready for some radio for one?
Till you get to that shoulder, that's the weak joint right there.
Is it? Yeah, that just tear right out.
That you can tell it like a chicken. Pull that leg off right there.
Yeah.
It's the weak joint.
Ugh. All right, radio for one. Miguel, I need T-Roy's electrician's experience on this one. Hey, man, you didn't have to tell him you were a fucking electrician.
There's been very, very few times in my life I've told someone I was an electrician and didn't immediately fucking regret it.
Yeah. Was out of town a few weeks ago and had our CEO come in to do a tour with some investors in the plant. Our VP of engineering and sales were cleaning the plant. Presses filled with oil and coolant, making the place look better, trying to clean up years of filth and grease. Think lipstick on a pig. I was standing on the next press and heard a loud bang. Here's my question for T-Roy. Say if someone would theoretically take a bucket full of water and oil and mop a 480 volt outlet on the ground while standing in said water. That's pretty dangerous, right? The fuses to that press popped as well as the bus bar tripped. I'm no electrician, but I don't think said person knew how lucky they were. I would have needed a change of shorts at least. Jason.
Yeah, sounds like the safety measures worked.
Oh, yeah?
Well, yeah. So water is conductive.
Right.
Which
Which is
water
why taking
not.
a toaster into a bathtub is a problem.
Exactly. Ironically, pure water is not. But there's so many minerals in the shit that we do and the water that we have that make actually think about that.
Wow.
That's pure water, pure H2O is not conductive.
No shit.
Yeah.
I did not
That's
know
how
that.
many minerals and things and metals are in our water.
And there's
that
so many
makes
metals in
it-
rainwater too,
That
right?
makes it conductive.
Like acid rain or whatever?
Well, that's
Like-
a little different.
yeah,
no,
but if it's in a downpour and you've got puddles of
pure,
water.
no, actually, no. Pure rain. I mean, acid rain's a little different, but pure rain is for the most part pure because it's evaporating water and then it condenses and comes back down. It's like how you can clean water, purify water by boiling it.
Yeah.
And get the impurities out of it. Anyway, what that person probably had, it was just so the water got into the plug, whatever it was, and shorted that out, and water went phase to phase and ground it out and shorted it out. He was fortunate, but he wasn't the source. The water was the source, right? He didn't ground himself out. The water grounded that out and shorted it. And he was wearing shoes, not
Tennis
super,
shoes or something.
whatever. Yeah, but at least he was insulated against it. Had he been soaking wet and all that, he could have been part of that circuit. But for the most part, water got in it, shorted out. Just think your GFI on a house. Rain gets in that plug outside, trips it. That's what it's supposed to do. It shorts it out and trips.
So that's a safety measure. That's what you mean by
the
safety
fuses,
measure?
yes, so that it shorts out when it blows.
If this was the early days of electricity and you didn't have that automatic popping.
Yeah, but
would that
again,
have-
he wasn't the source of the fault. You know, he didn't do it. The water did, so that it just shorted to itself. This is Radio for One. So
Yeah, no, I asked the question.
Yep. But shorts and faults come in all different shapes and forms.
Yeah.
Just because you're near it or cause it doesn't mean that you're in that circuit.
Right.
That just shorted out to itself and blew the line. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
But if you shorted it out, whereas you were the path to ground, as they call it, then that would go through you and down. And the problem is that generally doesn't short it out and blow the fuses at least as quickly as a face-to-face short like that.
Yeah. Excellent.
So, yeah.
That was the answer I was looking for.
Exactly.
I still didn't understand most of what you said or he said, but
Okay.
I'm sure some people did.
But yeah, I mean, ultimately, is he fortunate? Yes. And anytime you fuck with 480, I mean, that can blow, that can have a pretty substantial explosion.
220 can be a pain, right?
It can, yeah.
Yeah.
I always get a kick out of people who are like, I'll do 120 or 110, but I won't fuck with 220. Like, okay, well, then you have no idea what that actually means. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's just two separate 110 lines that make 220.
Duh.
So.
Stupid fuckers.
Yeah.
I hate stupid people.
Well, right.
God, they're the worst.
Yeah. Generally, you're only going to catch one of it anyway. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're going to get hit on a 110, you're only going to catch 110 of the 220 anyway.
The ironic thing is that was my saying forever.
I know.
I'll fuck with 110.
Yeah,
Dude, leave me out of the 220 game, okay?
I bet you I've heard that 100 times in my life. It's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, I'm going to use it going forward now.
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, I'll do 110 all day, but I don't fuck with 220.
What do you got? 220 there?
220, 221, whatever it takes.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it there, T. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Send your emails along. We love reading them. Walters@DetroitCast.com. I still get those every day. So send them along. We got one more show this week. Mm-hmm. And
Tomorrow.
we'll do one more tomorrow, and then hopefully a DFAS on Friday. I don't want to make any promises because I don't control Greg Henson's schedule.
Sure.
I just don't. Neither do you. With that, we'll call it a day. Hopefully you'll join us all tomorrow.